Every time a consumer comes across your brand online through a touch point, you are selling. And that doesn't mean that they click through to your website and a conversion happens, but you have to be aware that you are selling. Whether we like it or not, we are in an age where our digital footprint is absolutely everywhere. So that takes into account SEO on our social media posts, our, as I said, our digital identity, how we are perceived from our audience, etc. So what we do different at Abundant Life Studio is we put the soul of who you are, your brand, passion of your people into your post. We don't just post on your behalf. When a consumer sees your brand online, they need to elicit an emotion from that. And they need to see your content a number of times before they need to know, like, and trust you. Only then will a conversion happen. Now, online, and unfortunately in today's times, the touch points are very high. They need to see your content, anywhere from 50 to 60 times before they start to feel that they have the trust with you and with your brand. And the great thing about social media compared to old style marketing, you had to assume that when you put something, I'm not saying billboards don't work, but you had to assume that that person that was driving past in their car happened to be your correct demographic that was sitting there at the lights that would see your billboard. With social media, be it paid or organic, we can target the correct person to drive that algorithm to see your content with clever marketing. Now, that is the absolute beauty of it. So when you work it the correct way, we can do that, particularly with organic. And any amazing organic strategy will do that. And that's exactly what we do at Abundant Life Studio. What we do differently is look at it holistically. We need to make sure that those posts that are going out have a purpose. We need to make sure that, one, obviously the content is great, but what is more important, that you're getting the engagement from it. There is no point having the best graphic with the best copy if no one is going to see it and that your targeted audience is not going to interact with it, because then it's all null and void. So taking everything into account, that you've got the message right, you're talking to the right audience, and that you are working the algorithm in the correct way. And then of course you're incorporating each channel so that everything comes together and it's coming into a central point, so that those touch points from your consumer that are being met is then going to build that know, like, and trust so that you can drive a conversion. That's where the magic happens. With marketing, you need to build this up, because if you don't have that solid foundation, you have nothing to leverage. And if you look at what happened during the pandemic, the amount of people that reached out to us wanting to leverage something because they didn't have it there to use during the pandemic. And it was hard because they didn't have that for us to then say, okay, we'll utilize this. So it's really important to get those foundations there. Then you've got so many more opportunities to market with. So just remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. This will work. It just depends. Some people are quicker, some people take a little bit longer. It just depends on what the digital footprint you already have, what we have to leverage with, and what happens, in the current economic situation that we're in your industry, etc. But we will always do our best to make sure that it happens in the quickest time frame that we possibly can. We hope we get the chance to discuss further with you. My name's Melissa Mitchell. Have a wonderful day and hope to be in touch soon.